you recognize each other. You are just in complete and perfect alignment with each other. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In case you're new here, my name is Kim. This is Core Union. I want to talk today about what you want to do when you've been doing your inner work steadily, and then you get movement with your specific person. And let's say that this is a deep soul connection, because I do understand that there are collectives that it's not that deep and it's not that big of a deal. Like it's somebody that you just want to date, get to know. This video can help you guys for sure, but this video is more towards the collective where it is a deep connection. Okay. That being said, so let's say that you've been doing your faithful inner work and now you guys are communicating more and you're starting to want to see each other. In this experience, you want to maintain living from and thinking from being the wife, partner, husband, spouse, however you identify in your end. When movement is starting to happen, it's a very natural thing for people to be tempted to almost not be as focused and disciplined. You want to keep your self-concept as being and remembering who you are, what your 3D is, remembering the process, having trust and faith in the process, and reminding yourself to faithfully live from your end. Whatever technique resonates with you that you were doing before you got the movement, continue to do that. Like, let's say, for example, I love affirmations and I do affirmations in all different forms for myself. And then I love backing up the affirmations with some form of physical and inner conversations. So I would say affirmations that are in alignment with us always being in sync together, always trusting each other fully, always being able to hear each other, see each other, cherish each other, respect each other, appreciate each other, remembering who we are to each other, that kind of thing. This would just be a segment of my inner work, by the way, because my inner work has to also include, empowering things for my entire life and reality of finances, health, business, clients, other people in my reality, like my mom, things like that, right? Okay. So then, but when it comes down to things with me in my mirror soul, I would maybe have an inner conversation and then imagine some sort of physical experience. And when I'm doing this, I'm enjoying it on such a deep level. To me, I don't think of this as I am being somebody trying to get them back. I am being somebody trying to change them or change this or that. I am doing this and I'm understanding the entire process and I'm in complete trust of the entire process. So doing the inner work is not only very pleasurable and enjoyable, but it's also extremely powerful because you know that you really trust and know that this is what does put me in the timeline of having this experience in my physical reality. It's not that I'm doing this wondering or hoping, is this working? Or is this somehow like going from my mind over into their mind? It's not like that. It's really going deep within in the core of you, feeling into and trusting and identifying in you being the version of you with the version of them in the happy, stable, secure, loving, blissfully harmonic relationship that the two of you guys have always wanted. So when you feel good and you're feeling into being the happy wife, husband, partner on a deep level, beyond the physical, beyond the 3D, you know that what you're feeling, they're feeling as well. And you just also understand that it works in all directions. So for the collective that you were doing your inner work and then you had movement, so to speak, in other words, you started to see in your physical 3D reality, like you started to get a taste of more communication, seeing each other more and more, communicating more and more. But if in the 3D, there were still aspects of fear, distrust, doubt, insecurities, just do whatever you have to do to remember to pull yourself away energetically and continue to do your focused inner work and remain committed to being that version and living from that version and feeling from that version and thinking from that version, because your power of awareness is creative, so to speak, even though all of creation is done. And it's more so that you are selecting, but the word creative and creating is very easy to use. If you are getting movement and then you unintentionally and accidentally start to adhere back into your previous manifestation, one of the ways to empower yourself again and to go back in your trust is to remember that whatever is happening in the 3D, if it's not 100% in alignment with your end, this is just you, your previous manifestation. That's all it is. If you are feeling that you're falling too deeply into this and you're starting to feel anxious and edgy, that is a signal to you to listen to and to step back and to just remember to remain committed to your inner world more than anything else. And in case you did notice, I have manifested since, and this is not a big deal because I'm not going to go into the whole story about it because I obviously don't want to continue this, but since midsummer, so late in July, I think it was, I just started to have this, and I know I understand how I manifested it. I started to have this very itchy, burny situation around my eyes, and in a lot of videos you guys couldn't see it at all because it was covered with makeup, and with the lighting you're unable to see it. But anyway, just in case you do notice this, I'm just trying to heal it because I got a dose of it that came up. I'm not going to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. So anyway, let me pull myself out of this. When you are feeling yourself starting to adhere back into this, you're starting to feel anxious again. That's your signal that you have to actually detach. As soon as you become anxious and edgy again, you are no longer in your power of or in alignment with the end of being together. So try to keep this as simple as possible without going down the rabbit hole. If you're not feeling in that as the version of you who is feeling safe, secure, loved, adored, cherished, not thinking of the two of you guys as being harmonious, together, always in sync, listening to each other, being there for each other, all of that wonderful stuff, trusting each other. The two of you guys have let go of your past baggage and you've let go of each other's past baggage. Like, in other words, you recognize each other. You are just in complete and perfect alignment with each other. If you start to feel, and especially if you are putting labels on yourself or your specific person, you need to drop those things, because you have to remember that a lot of people over decades weren't aware. For example, people in the psychology community, in the 3D dating community, for example, a lot of people aren't aware of how and why we manifest the things that we do. And so when they're not aware on a deeper level of how things are actually coming into being into people's experiences, people will observe it from the outside, including their own experiences. And then they will fall back onto psychology. And then there are theories created of these types of behaviors and these conditions and this and that, blah, blah, blah. You don't want to identify with those conditions on yourself. You don't want to identify with mental health conditions that you grew up thinking that you had or that you were diagnosed with. You don't want to identify with your person as having any of these conditions either. And I know that that can be challenging. And it's okay, by the way, to leverage therapy in the 3D. It's actually good for you. But like, for example, even with me, I used to identify very deeply with having ADHD and being an empath. So I want to stop, like, I want to take the things that are good about ADHD and being an empath, I want to take those things and I want to keep them like superpowers, and I want to release and let go of all the other things. But even beyond that, I want to love myself and see myself as being perfect exactly how I am. I want to identify as being that's really loving myself and being patient with myself and compassionate with myself and nurturing myself and seeing myself that I'm able to focus, that I'm able to be very disciplined, that I'm able to regulate my emotions very easily, that I'm always seen, always heard, always cherished, always adored, always appreciated, that I am able to feel people's emotions, but also transmute what I'm feeling so I can heal myself and heal others. So instead of becoming hyper vigilant and watching and waiting for every single little nuance with, are they mad at me? Oh, they're feeling this or that. They're feeling insecure. They're starting to get fearful. They're doubting. They're upset. They're angry. As soon as I start to tell those stories because I'm sensing it, I want to take that, go within and transmute that and see the opposite of it. Okay. So just remember to drop all labels and all conditions that you've put on yourself, that you've put on your person. See the highest and best version of yourself. Identify with the highest and best version of yourself. Only identify with the highest and best version of your person. I am not saying that everybody, including yourself or them, need to be perfect, but there's a level of pure unconditional love, forgiveness, acceptance, a willingness to meet each other halfway, a willingness to let go again and release. Okay. So anyway, I hope that this video helps you guys. Please do comment down below that you are going to step into your power of being the operant power and trust that your end exists with your specific person. And if you need me, just reach out. I love you so much. Have an amazing day. Bye.
Nothing can come, nothing can come, nothing can come between us.